Imagine this for a second. The sound of a plane engine. It just cuts out. It goes from this loud hum to just silence.
And then all you hear is the water. Just that gentle lapping sound against the side of a huge, huge yacht.
Exactly. We're in Canoan. It's this beautiful turquoise slice of the Caribbean, so exclusive that you basically need a secret password to even dock there. And sitting right in the harbor is the motor yacht Katina. It's just massive, 60 meters of white steel,
Yeah.
and it is eerily quiet.
Yeah, it's that kind of quiet that comes right before a storm. Because if you step inside the wheelhouse, you'd see Captain Jason Chambers. He's at the helm, but he looks left, he looks right. And for the first time, really, his whole support system is just gone.
No Aesha Scott there to manage the interior with a smile.
One of the old faces, he's totally on his own at the top.
He wiped the slate clean. But here's the thing about a clean slate. It can be terrifying. When you replace that, like, golden retriever energy with what can only be called the volatile geniuses of the franchise, you're not just changing a crew roster.
No, you might just be lighting a fuse. Welcome to the StarScope report.
I am so ready for this one.
And I'm ready to break it all down. Today, we're looking at a story that has, absolutely shaken up the Bravo universe.
We're doing a deep dive into the headline, "He Fired Them All, Jason's Riskiest Gamble Yet." Now, we should probably clarify that right away because the internet loves to panic.
Right.
When we say fired, we don't mean Captain Jason lined them all up on the deck and handed out pink slips like some, reality TV execution.
No, that would have been amazing television, but it's not what happened. What we're talking about is a strategic purge. It's a complete operational overhaul for Season 4 of Below Deck Down Under.
So our mission today is really to unpack what it means to swap out, arguably, the most beloved Chief Stew in franchise history, Aesha Scott, for a team of, let's call them, Bravo Titans.
It's a shift from friendship to pure firepower. And we need to analyze why that might just be the most dangerous move Jason has ever made.
It's a massive roll of the dice. We're talking Daisy Kelliher, the return of Chef Ben Robinson. But before we get to them, we have to talk about what was lost. We have to talk about the void Aesha leaves behind.
Yeah, you have to look at the baseline. For years, Captain Jason and Aesha Scott were the yin and yang of this show.
Yeah.
Their dynamic was just unique, not just for yachting, but for reality TV in general.
Oh, it was beyond unique. Think about the contact lens moment. Aesha literally putting in Jason's contact lenses for him.
Right.
In what corporate world does that happen? It crosses like a dozen professional boundaries.
Exactly. And it speaks to this level of trust that just goes way beyond rank. They really had that family atmosphere on the boat. And now, well, the hard fact is Aesha's gone. She's back on Below Deck Med with Captain Sandy.
And her reasoning makes sense. She said she wanted to go back and finish her story where she started. It's a solid career move, even if it hurts us as viewers.
It is. It's valid. But the void it leaves on the Katina is huge. Jason is no longer the bro captain working with his best friend. He's now a manager of these high-level strangers who all have their own egos, their own brands.
And you can feel that from the audience. I was on Reddit preparing for this, and the word I kept seeing was devastated. It's not just, oh, she's gone. It's like actual grief. Aesha was the emotional heart of that show.
That likability was a tactical asset for him, and I don't think people realize that enough. It wasn't just about good vibes. Aesha was a shock absorber.
A shock absorber. That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, she smoothed everything over so Jason didn't have to. If a stew was upset, Aesha handled it. Without that buffer, Jason is just exposed.
And that's where this "he fired them all" idea comes from. It's about his choice to prioritize this A-team of veterans over nurturing a green crew.
He literally said he wants success stories. But then he followed it up with a warning. He said if he doesn't see results in 9 weeks, he will make a decision.
That sounds less like a mentor and more like a CEO,
That's the pivot. He's trading comfort for competence. But competence, especially in this world, often comes with a massive ego.
So Aesha's exit was a shock, but the real story is who walked up the passerelle to replace her. And let's just say, she admitted she was absolutely bricking it.
Coming up, how a random meeting at a chain restaurant in Florida completely changed the course of the entire season.
Okay, let's get into this new A-team, because this is where the gamble gets really, really risky.
It's quite a mix. First up, the new Chief Stew. We've got Daisy Kelliher crossing over from Below Deck Sailing Yacht. A huge deal in itself.
Daisy is a legend for sure, but she is so different from Aesha. On a management level, what's the real difference for the crew working under them?
Well, If you look at our data on what we call Chief Stew stratification, the difference is stark. Aesha is all positive reinforcement. She manages with empathy and energy.
She's in the trenches with them.
Exactly. Daisy, on the other hand, is categorized as professional grit and authentic passion.
Professional grit sounds like a very nice way of saying she takes absolutely no nonsense.
Precisely. Daisy is known for her clashes. We all saw the drama with Gary and Colin. She doesn't just avoid conflict. She kind of leans into it to get things resolved.
But she admitted she was intimidated to join this boat. She said she was brooking it. Terrified, basically. Why would a veteran like Daisy be scared?
I think it shows she knows the stakes. She's not walking in arrogant. She knows whose shoes she's filling. Plus, moving from a sailing yacht to a 60-meter motor yacht, like the Katina, it's a different beast entirely.
But she's not the biggest twist, is she?
Not even close. The big one is the return of Chef Ben Robinson.
The OG, the one who started it all. And the story of how it happened is just, it's cinematic.
It really is.
So picture this. Captain Jason is in Fort Lauderdale. He's visiting a friend. He walks into an Outback steakhouse.
Wait, of all places, an Outback, not some fancy yacht club.
An Outback steakhouse, bloomin' onions and everything. And he just randomly sees Ben Robinson sitting there. They sit down, they bond, and then literally 48 hours later, the chef for season 4 drops out.
And just like that, because of a chance meeting over a steak, Ben packs his knives and flies to the Caribbean. It's unbelievable.
It's either fate or total chaos, probably chaos.
Well, it brings up a critical point. Ben is what we call a volatile genius. The food is incredible, but he requires a specific type of handling.
He's a lot. We've all seen the meltdowns, the pan throwing, the yelling about timing. It's that classic tortured artist energy.
And here's where the gamble really comes into focus. There's a strong argument that Aesha, as empathetic as she is, might have really struggled to manage Ben.
You think he would have walked all over her because she's too nice?
It's possible.
Yeah.
Ben needs a buffer or an iron fist. Think about him and Kate Chastain. Kate could match his energy, his snark. She drew a hard line. Aesha's style is to kill with kindness, and with someone like Ben, that can sometimes look like weakness.
So, bringing in Daisy, the Irish firecracker, might actually be the better tactical move to handle Ben, because she'll just shout right back at him.
Theoretically, yes. Daisy can hold her own. She won't be intimidated.
Yeah.
But it also just amps up the volatility on the whole boat. You've got a hands-on captain, an opinionated chief stew, and a melodramatic chef.
That's not a recipe for a family vacation. That's a recipe for an explosion in a metal tube.
It's a pressure cooker. You've taken out the emotional shock absorber, Aesha, and replaced her with these high-performance parts that are just going to grind against each other.
And that friction creates heat. Or, incredible television.
Or both. If you live for these kinds of clashes, you have to hit that subscribe button because we are tracking every single meltdown this season.
And later, the wedding invitation that didn't arrive. But first, we need to talk about that first charter. Because the crew was one thing, but the guests, they took it to a whole other level.
The A-team did not get a warm-up. They were thrown right into the fire.
The headline here is, Salt Lake City storms the deck. The first charter guests of the season were the cast of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Specifically, Angie K and Mary Cosby. And anyone who follows Housewives knows this is not a low-maintenance group.
Jason called the dinner service exhausting. He said he sat down for a second before being dragged away, thank God. He sounded genuinely relieved to get kicked out of his own dinner.
That says it all, right? It's a trial by fire. Normally, the first charter is a shakedown. You figure things out, but with Bravo royalty on board, the pressure is totally different.
Explain that. What's the difference between a regular rich guest and a housewife guest?
It's the fourth wall pressure. Normal guests want great service. Housewives want great service and camera time. They're performing. They are creating their own drama, which messes with the crew's work. They're not just having dinner, they're filming a scene, and the crew are just extras.
So that puts immediate pressure on the new Jason and Daisy dynamic. She's trying to prove herself, Ben's trying to make a huge comeback, and the guests are
unhinged. That's the word that was used. And remember, the Katina is the biggest boat in the show's history, so everything is harder. The walks are longer, the cleaning is harder, and the personalities are bigger.
It's such a shift from last season. In the Seychelles, it was all about marine conservation and diving. It felt like an adventure show.
And now they're in the Caribbean dealing with housewives. It's a shift from adventure to pure drama.
Which brings us back to the personal drama, the wedding snub. This one kind of hurts. Aesha Scott is getting married, March 2026. And the big news, Captain Jason was not invited.
It's generated a lot of headlines. But Aesha gave some context. She said she had a strict 130-person limit for the venue.
130 people is still a pretty big wedding, though. You would think the guy whose contact lenses you put in, your work husband, would make the cut.
You'd think so. But she said something really telling on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
She said the fan shipping, everyone wanting them to be a couple, made their friendship weird.
So the fans kind of killed it. The work husband thing backfired.
Exactly. It's that parasocial paradox. When millions of people are rooting for you to date your boss, it creates distance. It makes it awkward. If she invites him, the wedding becomes about them, not her and her actual fiancé.
So Jason took it gracefully, publicly, but it feels like the definitive end of the Jason and Aesha era.
I think it has to be. That dynamic is over. That chapter is closed. Jason is on a new path now.
And that path involves managing Ben and Daisy. Good luck to him. He is going to need it.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our breakdown of the next scandal. We are watching everything.
So let's bring this all together. What does this mean for the season? Why should we care so much about this one crew change?
It means Season 4 is a completely different show. It's just not the same one you watched before.
Is it darker? Or just sharper?
It's sharper. Jason took a gamble. He looked at his team and said, I don't want to babysit anymore. I want superstars. So he got them.
He traded comfort for competence.
Exactly. But competence comes with ego. And when you have that much ego on one boat, Ben's perfectionism, Daisy's grit, Jason's leadership, the margins for error are just razor thin.
And there's no Aesha there, no emotional glue to hold it together when it cracks. No one to say, hey, let's just hug it out.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Jason says he wants success stories. But with Ben in the galley and Daisy running the interior, you have to wonder, is Jason still the captain? Or is he just the referee in a game of heavyweights?
And when those egos get too big for the boat, who walks the plank first?
That is the question of the season, and I, for one, cannot wait to find out.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.
See you on the next Deep Dive.